Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another day of Corsair Summer Tour 2013 action. I'm LD.
I am Luminous.
Are you ready, buddy?
I'm ready.
We have two best of threes for you guys today. The first one is going to be Mousesports versus Team Empire. If you haven't already heard, they're doing a giveaway. Head over to gc.corsair.com and enter for your chance to win a fully stacked gaming PC, as well as some free Dota TV tickets. But with that being said, the draft is underway. We can hop into it. It's Empire versus Mouse. Your first best of three, game one, now underway. Coming up later today at 24 CEST or 18 EDT. Yeah,
24-0.
Midnight for the Europeans, 6 p.m. for those on the East Coast of the United States, and 3 p.m. for those on the West Coast. It will be Dignitas versus EG, the second best of three of today's doubleheader. So we have a 3-hour break between the games, but Empire versus Mouse now underway.
3-hour break to watch the rebroadcast of this series, hopefully, for those of you guys that may have joined in late. But, of course, Team Empire on the dire side today, at least for this game, Mouseport on the Radiant. The last time we saw Mouseport was the thrashing they received from Na'Vi back in the DTL finals. Of course, I feel that Na'Vi may have outclassed them in that tournament a little bit, but Mouseport always a contender in any given situation, so I expect them to have a great game. And for me, this is the first time for me seeing the new Empire with Light of Heaven and with some of the new players. And, of course, a couple stand-in today, so that's never good to see, but let's see if they're going to be putting up a good show for us today as well.
Yeah, Mouse in the Western scene is somewhat starting to remind me of Orange Esports from the East. One of these teams that is an absolute lock to go deep pretty much every tournament, but has struggled to win them. Now, with that, there is the lone exception of the EMS1 LAN Finals. They took down Fnatic as well as EG to take that event, but you look at the overall list of teams there was no Na'Vi, there was no Alliance, there was no, I believe, no Virtus Pro. Not necessarily the most stacked tournament. They did take first, so they're capable, obviously, of winning championships, but can they beat the best to get there? There's no Na'Vi or Alliance in this tournament, actually, but I would say across the board that the sort of 4th through 8th teams in this competition are definitely more stacked than the EMS LAN Finals.
Yeah, I would actually rank Mouseport in the West maybe 3rd. Maybe tied with Dignitas in terms of, I guess, power level, in terms of going into TI.
Really? You put Dignitas that high, huh?
Yeah. Well,
and a Dota sour on them. I don't know if you heard.
I mean, they're definitely performing a little bit worse than their potential is currently, but I think they could get there. But here's the thing. The drop-off between 1 and 2 to place number 3 is massive to me, because I don't think Mouseport could go in the best-of-5 series against LGD China and take it 3-2.
You know who's on the rise?
Who is on the rise?
Kaipi. Sama.
I don't know about
God.
that. I saw his 5 melee draft the other day and was not too impressed.
They're playing Na'Vi in the defense. Is it Winter Bracket Final? Something like that.
Yeah.
So they're going deep in some events.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, should be exciting. Probably going to catch the VODs for that. But over here, Empire versus Mousesports, we look at how Empire's performing. We haven't talked about that much so far in the draft. We should do that. There are 2 teams in this game. Empire, I think the big question is, can they settle on their new roster members? They ran with Mitch as well as Twista. Remember last time we cast, I could not remember that it was Twista for the life of me, but I did this time. They ran with Mitch and Twista in the Western qualifiers. It felt like there was just a big drop-off between the 3 core members, Scandal, Blurry Brain, and Light of Heaven, and those 2. They've been running with Effigy and Sunlight, these 2 stand-ins now, for a couple of weeks, and they've had decent results, but it hasn't felt like the Empire of old. And whenever you lose a player like Funnick, one of the greatest talents to come out of the West in quite some time, is a new player or newer player to the scene a couple of months ago. He really started to explode maybe 6-9 months ago. Well, those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah, I remember when Funnick left Team Empire to Na'Vi. For the first couple of weeks, Team Empire looked okay. They were actually still doing all right. They were competing with the best. But as time went on, it seems like they weren't able to keep up, I felt like, against other teams that were accelerating ahead as they're practicing more and more for TI. But for today, the draft is going to be Darkseer, Visage, and Bane Elemental. And this is some sort of an awkward draft. Darkseer generally give you decent laning, a good team fight. Visage, in-lane killing power as Bane as lockdown for Anti-Mage. I'm not exactly sure where they're trying to go with this lineup. I'm somewhat confused. Are they thinking about offensive tri-lane? Are they doing the standard sacrifice the long lane to let the Darkseer jungle? Or are they going to straight up lane against Anti-Mage with the Darkseer?
I was about to say, if this was LGD China, I'd say there's like a 95% chance of a Spectre pick. Right. Darkseer, Visage, Spectre. They love to draft it that way because you have Darkseer, who's like one of Spectre's best allies. You Ion Shell him, you surge him around in fights. He has way higher damage output than he would on his own. And then Visage secures their tri-lane. But Mousesports, well, they've gone anti-mage and Prophet. You pretty much know what they want to do. Split push, farm a lot, and slowly but surely whittle you down. The question, Lumi, is can Empire do enough damage in the laning stage and then secure map control based on the way this draft's begun to halt the split push, to slow down Black's Battle Fury, to stop Mousesports from gaining that momentum?
I really don't think it's possible. Normally you say, hey, we could have one of the most powerful offensive tri-lane, Gyrocopter, Bane Elemental, and Visage. But when you look at the enemy carry here in the Anti-Mage, they don't have no chain stun here. They cannot actually knock him down and just kill him. So you can't go offensive tri-lane against this Mousesport lineup, despite how weak the laning stage actually is. One possibility that Team Empire could do is run an offensive tri-lane that it's not designed to kill, but it's designed to harass and limit Black's farm. But I don't really think that's a good way to win the laning stage. I think if you want to win the laning stage, you want to either knock down a lot of towers or get a ton of kills. And it's going to be hard to do it against an anti-mage, so I'm not sure what Team Empire is going to do here.
Yeah, they've gone for Gyrocopter. Good 5-man carry. You can build an early BKB on him. Decent at countering split push, but isn't that mobile, just as good at clearing the waves, mainly. And then Darkseer. He can build your mech. I would say Empire has a reasonably strong 5-man. They don't have an initiator yet. They actually ban out a Puck. Now, curious to see if they try to go for some split push of their own. Do they go for something like a Storm to gank the Prophet of the Anti-Mage? Or do they pick, I mean, maybe not Magnus, because that hero hasn't been that strong in this patch, but some sort of strong 5-man hero where you can try and just go down the middle lane around the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark, and end the game before Black and Koikfa get out of control.
Yeah, I'm surprised about the Puck ban as well. Generally, you don't see a Puck ban unless you want to pick a hero that's not prone to pick up a BKB, and then you, like you said, 1 to 5-man, because Puck is really good against that.
It is one of Fata's strongest heroes. He's been dominant on the Puck.
And now we're gonna see a CSI special.
Yeah, well,
CSI.
This is one way to try and take it late.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter, that ever persistent +1 threat, but I still go back to what you said earlier in the draft, and I'm not convinced Empire have addressed it. They have one hero that can reliably lock down an anti-mage, and that's the Bane.
And you don't get it till level 6.
Bane's not that mobile.
And you don't get it till level 6. So in terms of any laning lockdown, there's none. So Sand King and Chen.
But there's a sleep into a homie missile.
Maybe.
You should have seen Lumi's face when I said that. He was not convinced.
I was not convinced. So with the Bounty Hunter being picked up here, I imagine Darkseer is going to be our solo mid. And then Bounty is going to be our off lane. And then you have your tri-lane, whether offensive or defensive. I think they should run the offensive tri-lane and then do the Bounty top 1v1 against Nature's Prophet. That should be a fairly easy lane for the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, I like that. You get a quick level 6 in Bounty. He'll farm well. Sometimes if you play your cards just right, you can even kill the Prophet if he's not careful. And then you can snowball.
Although the Prophet is really annoying, because he's going to make treants, and he's going to stick them on you. And poor Mancio, good against hero attacks, not going to be too effective against the treants.
You get something against the treants, but not as much as you'd like.
Yeah, so Nature's Prophet is going to get farm as well.
But I really agree with you that I think they do need to go aggressive here, because if you trade, then Mousesports are getting Prophet either off lane, he'll get something, or he'll just go jungle, and Chen will as well. And you're getting safe lane, protected anti-mage farm. I don't think any trade Empire can make is good enough, and also Bounty Hunter can't go woods like Prophet. So if you run a defensive tri-lane, I think this Bounty Hunter could just get completely zoned out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you go offensive tri-lane, again, you're not going to kill the anti-mage.
Yeah.
You're going to try to deny his CS, which is fairly important. At the same time, you also limit yourself. Your Bane and Visage, they're not good at roaming to the mid lane and getting a kill there.
That's true.
So they're basically stuck there for a long time. And now we're going to see a Nyx Assassin solo mid.
This is great.
No, this is actually pretty good. Nyx Assassin, of course, very good against Darkseer in teamfights. You mono burn him a couple times, he's done. In terms of the laning stage, if you mono burn him there too, he's kind of stuck there, unless he gets his good bottle crowing going. So we'll see how it goes.
And Carapace will be nice here against Gyrocopter, guaranteed to proc on him until he gets a BKB. Darkseer, lots of AoE, Ion Shell, Vacuum, Wall, likely that he'll get stunned by the Carapace in the middle of these fights. And I guess the last thing that's worth noting here is I do think Mousesports' draft feels a bit greedy, and I think there's a lot of pressure on the Chen. The reason is they have a melee support in the Sand King and a melee carry in Anti-Mage. So it's really up to Cinderin to keep that tri-lane, that defensive safe lane intact if Empire do go aggressive. And what do you know? Russian Dota, CIS Dota, they're going aggressive, Lumi. And on that note, let's introduce the teams. It's your lower bracket round 1 match of the Corsair Summer Tour 2013. 1 of 2 for that round. Loser of this best of 3 is knocked out of the event and will finish as one of the bottom 2 teams who made it into the playoffs. 7th or 8th for these teams, the loser of this. Blow Your Brain, handling the Gyrocopter. FNG, the longtime stand-in on the Bane. Sunlight, the longtime stand-in as well on the Visage. Light of Heaven on the Bounty Hunter. And Scandal, last but not least, bringing up the rear as the Darkseer.
We have some swappy action here, as we both thought it was going to be Fada going mid here on the Nyx assassin, but now they swapped it back. It's going to be Pas playing the Nyx. We have Koifa going up top as the Nature's Prophet. It's going to be Fada playing Sand King solo mid, abusing that Caustic Finale against his melee opponent, which should be a Darkseer, so that should be pretty cool to watch. And then we're going to have Cinderin Dota going in the jungle with Chen, and then meanwhile Black, of course, on his Anti-Mage, and meanwhile, looks like he might be running into a couple of these guys, although with Blink available, again, he should never really die in this
Oh,
thing.
Cinderin might die, though. He goes to place the Sentry, and in comes FNG. Oh, Cinderin, that was close. Still FNG's chasing. I don't think he'll find the sleep in time. Continues to give pursuit. This might be a little bit too far to dive. He really wants to sleep. All right.
Bane has
all right, FNG, calm down.
Bane has 15 extra movement speed. I was very sure that he was going to get it. Meanwhile, we do see these illusions with Mana Break skilled up, trying to do a ton of work. Wow.
Oh, great play by, well,
aggressive play.
Smart play by Black, though, because if you take the illusion rune before skilling Mana Break, your illusions do not get the Mana Break. But like you said, it's aggressive. Now he doesn't have Blink.
Yeah, now this is a go time here, because you could actually open up maybe with Grave Chill and dive the hell out of Anti-Mage, but he should be fine with Nyx Assassin back.
He also has 350 move speed, and it looks like he should be okay. So Empire running the aggressive tri-lane. They have warded off the standard pull camp. They did ward off the big camp, but now possible de-ward it, and also remove their rune vision. So that puts Scandal in playing in the dark pretty much, but I think the most interesting match of this game is going to be that mid lane. We don't see Sand King solo mid too often.
Yeah, last time we've seen, I think it was Mushi doing it.
It was Mushi.
Yeah, and he dominated the lane. Although Darkseer is going to be very annoying to lane against. Bottle should be bring him to a very healthy amount, but look at Caustic Finale. Doing quite a bit of harass to Scandal, and Tower joining in the fray as well.
Yeah, everybody's gaining up on Scandal here mid. Scandal should have the edge in terms of rune control, even with Caustic Finale. Ultimately, Ion Shell is just constantly pushing the lane. Caustic Finale, only little bursts. So you'd expect Darkseer will have the rune control unless Mousesports supports come into play. And our last lane that we could take a quick look at, although there might be a bit of action bottom soon, is Quakefoot on the off-lane Prophet against Light of Heaven on the safe lane Bounty. I think a lot is being asked of Light of Heaven this game. He's the one who probably is the easiest lane in terms of his ability to just hit level 6 and start making things happen. But so far, it's actually Quakefoot just dominating him in the lane.
Yeah, I mean, again, you don't expect Prophet to do that well in any 1v1 situation, but those Treants are just so annoying for a melee bounty hunter to deal with. He doesn't have a good way to kill all of them at the same time, and he's stuck there kind of eating harass constantly from those Treants. Meanwhile, on the Empire tri-lane, as expected, they can't really go for any killing attempts. They're going to try their best to deny and harass Anti-Mage's farm, but at the same time, Anti-Mage is 4 and 5, so I'm not sure really they're harassing enough.
Top lane, Light of Heaven has picked up an Oov. I know Merlini would be happy about this, but it's a really nice pickup as a melee hero like Bounty Hunter. But we'll have initiation bottom lane. Sunlight's low. He will go down. Cinderin rotates in, sets up a first blood. And, I mean, we did talk about this was going to be a double melee lane, bottom lane, plus the Chen if you want to call it a tri-lane. They had to get a lot done, and they will, and now they're going in again. Here comes your Centaur from the backside. Stomp cooling down. FNG could be in a lot of trouble. Stomp's going to whiff, just barely, but Cinderin, he can already go home happy. He's done his job. He's given Black the first blood. Actually, the last hit going to the Nyx. But nonetheless, Mousesports, well, this is not what you want if you're Empire. You run that aggressive trying is to stop the Anti-Mage from farming, and exactly the opposite has happened.
Again, this tri-lane, not exactly too good at rotating, not exactly too good at challenging the jungle, challenging Jen's kind of free farm there.
They need to win the lane.
Right, and they haven't won the lane. It looks like they might make another go. A fresh Centaur being picked up here. They're looking for Blow Your Brain. Can we? There's the Impale. The Stomp's going to follow up. Nice defensive Nightmare. And then FNG takes it back and then disrupt it from himself. Very, very beautiful Bane play.
Yeah, if he didn't get that defensive sleep off, there's that 1 second of invulnerability when you defensively sleep a teammate. If that didn't happen,
he would have been dead.
He would have been dead. It would have been Centaur Stomp, then Black right clicks him, and down she goes.
Yep. So very, very nicely played. That would have, or at least trying his best to rescue that kind of dying tri-lane there. But Mousesport kind of a-okay at this point here. Anti-Mage 9 lasted, 9 denies. I think he's okay. I think this tri-lane has already failed, in my opinion.
Yeah, they placed that Observer Ward to block the big camp. It got dewarded. Synderen, let's be honest, he's gotten a bit lucky with 2 Centaurs in a row, but he made the first Centaur count. And end of the day, Chen is probably going to find a few good creeps. So Synderen's played really well. Mousesports did a nice job of dewarding Empire. And the thing is that Mouse aren't really pulling right now. They're not feeling any pressure to, because they're getting kills and experience off of just having a dual lane. They're only sharing the experience, splitting it 2 ways, and just getting kills. Whereas Empire, tri-lane, Bane sitting only at level 2 now, not particularly quick level progression. So I look at the bigger complexion of this game, and it goes back to Light of Heaven and to maybe a lesser extent Scandal. They need a lot of track kills here in the mid game because their chances of finding the kills on the bottom lane seem pretty remote.
Here's the problem, and I call it air quote problem, is that Light is going for Max Janata, which is really good in lane. That's going to allow him to harass Koifa quite a bit, but it also means that when he exits the laning stage, well, we'll talk about that later. Okay, never mind. I thought there was some go on the bot lane. As all heroes are clumped up.
You see 5 dots on top of each other, you figure there's some action.
They're just CSing. But,
only when you notice them. When you don't, then they're fighting.
Right. But yeah, Light of Heaven, you talked about how important he is once he exits out of the laning stage. He's going to have Max and Janata when he exits out of the laning stage, so it's not going to be impressive as a ganking build. So I'm not exactly sure how he's going to find that Max Shuriken toss.
Scandal going to make a big play mid. Fata just used his Burrow Strike. The Ion Shell and Scandal will wear off. Here comes the chase. Fata burrows back the other direction. And it looks like he should be able to escape. Synderen can send him home if necessary. Synderen is also low. Looks like he was tanking the creeps for a bit in the jungle. But in the end, Fata gets out safely. Scandal, that's the one piece of very good news for Empire is their Bounty Hunter is doing well in the safe lane. Yes, is going for the lower impact mid-game build with 3 points in Janata, but is at least farming well. 24-1 on Light of Heaven. And Fata sitting now at 21-2. So mostly keeping up in a difficult matchup against Scandal's Darks here.
Yeah, and, well, Light on the top lane already level 6 with the teleport scroll picked up, and he should be able to maybe even join the bot lane and start getting some work done. Of course, Observer Ward on this very deep part of the bot lane will scout any TP in, so that's a very smart pickup. You also want to throw a sentry down as well, but let's see how prepared Mousesports for this level 6 gank.
Poor Scandal. He wants this 6-minute rune. It is a regen. Perfect rune for him. Unfortunately, it's bottom lane. But top lane, they've made a teleport reaction here. Blow Your Brains actually rotated in. Only level 4. Not necessarily the best hero killer, but if he can get a range for the Rocket Branch, which track move speed will help him to do, this could be a much-needed kill, and it could get the ball rolling.
This is so smart. I mean, if you're going to cut down any trees, cut down the trees that block vision from you, and now he will have at least a 1 or 2 second headway in terms of seeing Blow Your Brain, making that dive in, and Koifa, well...
If they want to get the kill, he's got to go, like, he's basically got to cross this line,
right.
Else I think he's able to run away.
And now Blow Your Brain says, too much time wasted, I wanted that CS, I'm only level 4. And now it's going to be the Light of Heaven gank train in the mid game, and let's see how much he can do. And honestly, I'm not sure how much, really.
Well, maybe they'll make a go mid instead. They do have a single point in sleep, only one in Brain Sap, but just can't... You can see Empire, they want to juggle the lanes here and make a kill happen, because they're not really stopping Black from farming fully. He's getting his levels anyway, and you know Mouse are getting more off the map because they were jungling their Chen, and that Chen for Synderen is level 4. It's not the fastest jungle, but he's jungling, you don't have a jungler. So they try and switch up the lanes. One of the issues, though, is they were running a tri-lane where there was nobody good to leave alone in the lane. Visage has been left to his own devices, but how much can a Visage do here? Sunlight's still level 3, still no boots. If he comes near the lane, he's dead.
Yep, and also because Light of Heaven had a level 1 Windwalk, his Windwalk barely ran out, and then he replied it instantly, but he did it over here, under a gaze of an Observer Ward, so the juke's up, he gets seen on the bot lane, so that's about a full minute of him not getting anything done. At the same time, though, he did keep most of the Mousesports player back just by missing off the map, and you can see that Fata playing a lot more reserved in the mid lane. He's now rotating back mid, but here's time to go because Burrow Strike has been used. Iron Shell being dropped on Light, and nice vacuum backward. That's going to be the first track kill, and they need every track kill so badly, not just for the gold, but also for the experience, as you need to level up that Janata.
That persistence. Try once and fail, try again.
Yep.
That's exactly what Light of Heaven did, and it's the ever-present threat of a bounty hunter. Now he's got Ion Shell, and Light of Heaven's coming in, but Synderen saw him go invis. Once again, Light of Heaven, just kind of unfortunate timing for him. Still throws out a track to Synderen. And Synderen can't really jungle without backup. So even if Light of Heaven's not finding kills, he is punishing that Chen and delaying his level progression. I think if he can keep this up, he shuts down the Chen, he puts the Fear of God and the Sand King. then he's basically shutting down two very important heroes and call it a bit of a victory for Empire. But Ifata smoked up, TP top lane, and now it's his turn. He wants to make a go on Blow Your Brain. Blow Your Brain's feeling a little nervous now. You look at this dire vision, and who do they actually see? They don't see Prophet, they don't see Sand King, they don't see Pops on the Nyx, and they don't see the Chen. So he's backing way the hell up.
Yeah, I mean, he's also had no HP, so that's a good time to duck in the jungle a little bit, do a little bit of pulling, and Flak Cannon's going to allow him to do a ton of neutral farming. That's a nice goal that he could act. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane here, they're rotating back, and Sand King, that was a
Once
very...
again, this is the third time that Observer Ward spotted them. Just saw the pings come out. But no, maybe Sinner didn't know. Saw a ping from Orange. Looked like they knew something was up. It's a two-hero impale from Poss. Tries to drive him back. Won't matter, though. The Shuri toss is there. Brings him down. Now a burrow strike through. And maybe a turnaround comes. There's your Epi Scandal. Woo! Surging away. Almost escapes. But there was that last mana burn. Now Light of Heaven. Still fighting under cover of Sentry Ward. He's in trouble.
Wow.
Burrow through. Catches two. It's a disaster for Empire. They lose 3 just to get the 1 track kill and only on a lonely Chen.
Yeah, it was just not worth it to make that such of a big dive, and maybe Chen didn't see it, but perhaps his allies did, and they rotated in a big time. Meanwhile, the story on the bot lane is that Black is just free farming away. The offensive tri lane started designed to shut him down. He's got 46 and 31 denies, doing an excellent job of keeping the creep equilibrium in front of his tower and just going at hard at the creeps. Power threat's already up.
And it goes back to what we talked about in the draft, is they don't have a Nyx. They don't have a Sand King. They don't have these heroes that are great for ganking an anti-mage in the mid-game. Sure, you've got Bounty Hunter. He needs a setup. He needs a lockdown hero. And FNG's only level 4. The Visage, only level 4. They're two key heroes that have stuns. They're only 2 heroes that have stuns. Don't even really have the great ones. No Familiars, no Fiend's Grip. They just can't kill Black. He gets like a guaranteed... I would say 3 to 4 minutes of farm unless Empire commit 4 or 5 heroes bottom lane. And if they do that, Mouse will find the trades anyway. Mouse are in a very comfortable position in Empire. I would say a very uncomfortable one.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Light is making it trying to make it happen though. He's constantly roaming. Sure, the first ganks are not really that effective. He's gonna try to make it work, but there's a Sentry Ward right there where Chen is sending, so I don't think he's a valid target. He wants to go back mid, but with Burrow Strike available, that's not really a high success rate gank either.
Yeah, the percentage chance of making that one happen is 0. No gem up on the Bounty Hunter. Fata now invis and heading towards the top lane. Koikfa, he'll be going Midas, so it's really not just the anti-mage. It is kind of this alliance style that we've seen from Mousesports evolve over the past couple of months, where they run Koikfa much as Alliance runs Admiral Bulldog, as a very farm-intensive off-lane player, as a hero who offers a lot mid-game, and now they've gone in on Blow Your Brain. Burrow's there. The Impale only hits 1. Nice defensive sleep. Keeping Blow Your Brain alive. Through it all. Fata on the run. Gets tracked. Oh, this will be a huge track kill, and it should be 1. Shuriken Toss is there. He can't get down the cliff. And in the end, they get a Sand King. It does force 5 heroes top, though, which means more space for Black, but keeping the Gyro alive, getting a track kill, call it a victory for Empire.
That was a pretty big victory. Like you said, keeping the Gyro alive. Bane's play, it's just this game is just impressive with using Nightmare. Dropping it on the perfect moment, using that 1 second of immobility. But more importantly, was that a 5-man track kill? I'm not sure if
there were 5 heroes at the tower in that area. I don't know if they were all in range,
right,
but at least
so
3 or 4.
3 or 4. And again, Light of Heaven is just says, all right, I'm going to invest right here. That Observer Ward has definitely earned his money.
And you also got to say, when we've seen players like Trixie play Bounty Hunter, I was just watching him yesterday, he's always ducking into the nooks and crannies. He'll jump into the Roshan pit, he'll go and viz there. He'll hide in the trees over here. He'll go and viz there. He's always finding the spots that are out of common ward vision to go and viz. And I think it increases your kill percentage a lot. But maybe this is where Light of Heaven is saying, I don't really expect to get kills anyway. I'd rather not waste the time. I just want that Chen to be afraid to enter his jungle. And hey, if he sees you, then he's likely to be more afraid.
Yeah, so. Against really good players, the fact that they see you means they're kind of afraid because they know their Bounty Hunter is in the jungle, although... he now will find Cinder and Dota now going to really get a kill. Nice net here with a newly pick up creep, but he's going to keep going for it. Janata cooling down right now. One more Janata hit should do it. One more Janata.
I don't know if this is worth it.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's going to go down. He's trapped on the Sprout. Sentry Ward there as well.
You know, if Light attacked just half a second later, his Janata would have came, and then he wouldn't have chased further deep, and Shuriken Toss would have finished the kill. So that was just...
Not the best executed gank, but even if he gets that kill... Normally, you'd say trading for track gold is worth it, but that's a Chen who's very underleveled, and you're a Bounty Hunter who's got the weight, not quite of the world on him, but he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders.
Yeah.
I feel this Bounty Hunter has to get a Vlad, has to get a BKB. He can't just be a mobile track machine in the mid-game.
He's also not attacking out of Windwalk, which does give you 30 bonus damage. I mean, I'm not sure whether it would matter in that case, but he's always tracking first before attacking, and I think he's losing quite a bit of value there by missing that first hit.
Gotta get that value.
You gotta get the value. Yeah.
Mousesports now continue to jungle. They picked up the Midas on Koikfa. He'll wait for the 14-minute spawn and then eat a big creep. And there'll be a Ursa as well. A Hellbear Smasher, I should say. Still living in Warcraft 3 Dota times. We'll see Black now. Claymore up, Ring of Health up. He's your lead CSer. The Gyrocopter, sure, he lived top, but now 10 CS behind. Black, second leader in terms of net worth. And I just feel for Team Empire, the laning stage was not very successful for them. The goal was to stop Black from farming, stop Synderen from jungling, get a very fast level 6 on Light of Heaven, and start racking up the track kills. And you look at the way the game's developed, Mousesports have just done a magnificent job anticipating Light of Heaven's movements, getting him to just, for whatever reason, Shadow Walk under wards. So some of it, sure, miscues by him, but Mouse always ready with Sentry Wards, always having 3 or 4 heroes prepared with TPs, and Empire, they need to get a lot more. This is not enough for them to sit back and farm and head towards the mid-game.
Yeah. Although, you know, we're kind of being critical about Light of Heaven's play. If you look at the score, he's got 3 of the team's kills, so he's definitely making it happen. And Mousesport, to me, is doing an excellent job in terms of slowing him down, having the wards up, like you said, just being really aware of where everybody is. Oh, wow, they are playing aggressive. Blink Dagger already up, and they're going to grip right on Black. The Burrow Strike already on cooldown. Can you get a kill on Black? Down to about half HP. Shuriken toss, no track on top. Got to go for the Sand King instead. 2 men impale. That's going to be a quick, easy kill. Nice 2-man Burrow Strike to follow through. They are toggling that Nightmare, and it looks like Paz has an 8 Nightmare. They're going to focus on El Pollo Loco. He's back home, Fada getting sent back, and now FNG really in trouble, and he is going to go down. A 2 or 3-man gank on the bot lane now. Turned around. No track kills. Given away now back to Chen and Anti-Mage.
They're fighting without Darkseer. They're fighting without the mech. And without Gyrocopter as well. One of the issues for Empire here is their 2 best heroes for those larger scale engagements are also the 2 most important heroes for the mid game and the late game. So Blow Your Brain, he's trying to farm a BKB top. The Darkseer just farmed his mech mid. And unfortunately, Empire tried to make a go, expecting they'd just find a 3v1, maybe a 3v2. They basically found Mousesports' entire team. Prophet was there with the teleport reaction. The Chen comes in with the Hand of God. Anti-Mage basically had 2 extra allies at his side with the Sand King, the Nyx, a 3 with the Chen Hand of God as well. And Empire just walked into a trap there. They really need to fight with the Gyro and the Darkseer, but unfortunately, they're trying to get those core items to allow them to fight.
Oh, top lane, I think. Blow Your Brain might be dying very soon. Epicenter being channeled in the fog. Blink back in, Burrow Strike, and that should be an easy. Wrath of Nature even coming through for the kill ensured. Very good job here.
Kill secured, but that's one where you don't want to mess around. Now Synderen could be in trouble. This could be a track kill. It will be. Synderen caught out. Now Koikfa in a bit of a pickle. There's a track cooling down. Burrow strikes through. Once again, Fatsa's there. Whenever you need him. This guy really feels like he should work for an insurance company. Now Black, Grave chilled up, he'll blink away, and the chase should end here.
Fada's actually one of the most impressive player in terms of roaming all over the map and setting up kills. We just saw that, right? On the bot lane, getting a double kill and triple kill for his allies, teleporting up top, getting a kill there on the enemy carry, and then back to the mid lane, rotating there, make sure that he defends his allies. So you can't ask for any much more from a solo mid. He's playing exceptionally on the Sand King.
So for Team Empire now, they trail 4-9, 17 minutes in. Gold-wise, experience-wise, they're down about 3k gold, 5k experience. I still think they can come back, but they need to start fighting soon as a team. They need the Gyrocopter to finish his BKB. They already have their mech on the Darkseer, and then it's time for Empire to just start 5-manning at these towers.
Top lane, Blink Burrow Strike right on Blow Your Brain. He's going to disengage.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but strategically for them, that window to sit back and farm has to be closing soon. They need to start taking bigger fights. They've even got a Vlad's up on Light of Heaven. The only item they should be waiting for is BKB, and after that, I mean, you've got to go, because Black's farming freely, Battle Fury's coming soon, Prophet's already got the Midas, and the Shadow Blade will be there, and if they wait too long to 5-man, even if they take some towers, Mouse will trade, and Mouse will farm on heroes that just do more in the late game.
Yeah, they don't have any kind of like Orchid carriers. They don't have a Hex carrier. So in terms of any late game implications, unless your Gyrocopter gets a MKB, BKB, Divine Rapier, I really don't see the late game going for them. They will see Synderen in the jungle again, and this should be yet another track. Yo, let's see how good Synderen micro is. Well, no micro will save you out of from here.
He could have the micro of a living god, and he's still going down.
He could have he could have dropped a tornado and shockwave, and he would have still died. But well.
Didn't do anyway. There may be some lag at stake here. We see one player disconnect. I believe Mouse is boot camping now, I want to say.
Who isn't boot camping?
Right.
You're playing for.
It's only a few weeks until TI3.
You're playing for $2.6 million.
So if POS is lagging, then Cinderin may be lagging as well.
Maybe. POS definitely dropped. But the group stage, if you guys haven't found out, the schedule's out, I think, on Dota2.com. I think the group stage starts on August 3rd and will last till August 5th. And then we have 1 day of break on the traveling day. That's a 6 for us?
Yeah, our day of break is our travel day.
Nice break. Don't we have rehearsal on that day, too? We had rehearsal last year.
I think so. I don't know what they're going to do for some of the casters that are coming from farther away as well.
I am checking with the Frog.
He's actually asking the Frog right now.
Whether
Must be nice to have the red phone, huh?
Yeah. Don't act like you don't have the red phone. It's just like, I'm just making sure that we are planning.
I'm just making you feel as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah. You do a very good job at that.
I mean, I could go full Blitz here and just start like rubbing your knee and stuff. You know,
Blitz has rubbed more than my knees.
More than
my knees. More than I like. So
oy.
I feel uncomfortable. But back to my point, I feel that Empire don't have the heroes to pick up late game items. What they could hope for the best in this situation is have Bane to pick up a Black King bar. If he has that, then he's basically immune to whatever Mouse has got, and then just grip the anti-mage and go for a team fight victory.
Yeah, the only hero who can stop that grip is anti-mage with Mono Void,
right.
which does go through BKB.
Or maybe Chen with a net creep, right? But that's kind of like really out there. So if you look at this Bane, he's got boots and 300 gold. So I don't think if BKB...
Ambitions of BKB, they will need probably like, I don't know, 10 to 15 track kills
right,
for him
right.
to have on.
They have track, right? If you knock down a couple towers, if you get a couple of track kills, it is possible. FNG is playing out of his mind right now with this Nightmare toggling, but I just don't see them doing it.
By the way, a Luminem face has emerged in the chat.
There's a Luminem face now?
It bears a striking resemblance to you. It doesn't look anything like you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Well, we should get one made, though. We have our regular inverse face, but maybe we need
a Luminem face.
You know how the courier has upgrades, like you can get a silver owl.
Yeah.
We need like a Lumi face that can upgrade. So you get like
put some sunglasses.
Yeah, you put the shades on and
put some blings.
So we have a longer pause here. What do you think? Oh, actually, right as I start to dive into some heavy philosophical material, pause reconnects. So
if a Chen dies in the jungle, nobody's nearby. Does this boar make a dying sound?
He doesn't have a boar.
Whatever.
He's riding one.
He's riding.
Yeah,
a boar.
you're right.
Yeah.
Man,
that's deep.
Too deep.
That's deep. All right.
And not deeps either. That's just deep.
That's just deep.
With a P
at
the end. We'll have it unpaused now. The game will resume. Welcome back. Score still 9-5. They just got a 10 kill. Empire did, and now they're rolling, looking to make something more happen. You can see an early Quelling Blade on Scandal. Nice choice, so he doesn't have to waste Vacuum to remove the trees. And in they go mid. They want Light of Heaven. Oh, man, they really want Light of Heaven. They'll find Scandal as well, but a low ground to high ground grip is there. This could be the fight for Empire. Call down comes through. Decent physical damage, but not enough to find more than just the Sand King. But Epi's on cooldown, and maybe this is your time to push.
Yeah, they're very lucky that they killed Light right from the get-go, because that 2 track kill for 5 members of the team, that would have been all the gold they
Oh, he
they
bought
needed.
back, by the way.
Yeah, he did buy back. And with the Vlads available, that means they were going to get a tier 1 tower for free. But look at Black says, nope, I'm going to get a good trade here on my own. Koifa is going to join the fray here.
Here comes Light of Heaven. Now scaring the Nyx off, and that Nyx will rotate towards the bottom lane. POS did pop his Vendetta. That means no Vendetta available. But we've been talking about how poor the Bane is, and I'm looking at how rich this Nyx is. POS has Arcane Boots, and POS has 1,300 gold.
It's level 10. Jesus.
Yeah, this is scary for Empire, because they have a level 7 Bane with no bracers, no items. Even though Visage is naturally tanky, he's sitting on a chainmail and no tank items at all. Only 900 HP. Their supports are potentially just food for the Nyx.
Yeah, to me, I'm scared for Scandal because he's getting to a range of getting that Mono Burn upgraded, and that's when the cooldown gets a lot better. That's when the Mono Burn gets a lot higher. And we expected a solo mid Nyx Assassin early on, and I talked about how great it is going to be against the Darkstar in team fight. Now he's going to get that solo mid, sort of, in terms of very high-level Nyx Assassin. And Scandal's going to have issues.
So I like this from Team Empire. One of the things their lineup is pretty good at is taking Roche. They've got Janana and they've got Visage. He can build a fast medallion. You get good physical damage. So they'll take an Aegis, and I think it's not about the fact that they take Roche and they take an Aegis. It's about what do they do for the next 5 minutes, for the next 6 minutes while they've got that Aegis. I think they really need to start taking some serious territorial control. The tier 1 bottom, the tier 1 top, and maybe even a tier 2. If they can't get those during this Aegis, then I don't know how much it matters. Pressure to me is still on them, but sneaking the Roshan potentially. It's low. It's not dead yet, but Blow Your Brain's in great position. Here comes your Epi. It's caught one. The Visage will fall. Can they take the Roche? That's the question. The wall gets dropped. It's caught two. Calldown's there as well, but it's going to whiff completely. Now a grip on Fata. He's already unloaded his payload, though. Now the Mana Void's here. Black's jumped in. He's going to find two. FNG to fall, and the chase is on. Blinking onto the high ground, finding Blow Your Brain. No BKB yet. He's got the money for it, but it's in the stash currently. Team Empire able to hang on for the moment, but they're in grave danger of giving up this Roshan. Doesn't seem like there's any buybacks forthcoming. Now they've found Paz. Your double blink special from Fata, or rather, Blow Your Brain. Your double blink special from Fata and Black is successful. Mouse will take a tier 1 mid. They might even snipe the Roshan as well. Boy, that really hurts.
I'm just absolutely confused on why Mousesports thought they could win the team fight and how wrong I was to doubt them, because they're diving into the Roshan pit against a Darkseer, Vacuum Wall, a Call Down, and a mech, and they got nothing. Nice wall back up. But Scandal, I don't know about that play because they could just kill him.
That was actually pretty epic, but the problem is Black also has Blink, so Black just blinks back down. They may find Paz here. He's only 150 gold from his Blink Dagger. Can't even find Paz. He gets sent home, and now Black, insult to injury, will de-ward on his way out, and now they get the Gyro BKB. Unfortunately, they didn't have it during that fight. Empire also got spread out a little bit. We saw their lineup is very strong when it's 5, but they're worried about Epicenter, and so understandably, they're spreading out. But Mouse, using that Epicenter very effectively, just basically drove a wedge between Empire. Sent some heroes to the right, some scattered to the left. So they didn't get the full power of mech on their entire team. The wall wasn't as effective as it could have been, and the cooldown for Blow Your Brain didn't hit anything, really. I think it might have hit a few Chen creeps. That was it.
I mean,
Empire have this great 5-man lineup, but they've got to hit their combo to make it work, and they couldn't do it there.
Yeah, the Epicenter is... I mean, honestly speaking, it was a bad Epicenter because it only hit one player, right? But it did the zoning, like you pointed out. I think Blow Your Brain dropped the ball a little bit. He needs to call down first and trust Scandal to vacuum right there, not the other way around, because vacuum and then the call down flies out, it's not going to hit anything but Chen creeps. So Empire lacked a ton of damage, and Anti-Mage gave all the damage to his team with a Battle Fury, with a huge amount of
this is a bit of a play, isn't it? Fata channels Epicenter in the trees. I don't know if he messed up shift queuing his Blink Dagger or just expected that Darkseer for Scandal to run in, but, well, the thing is, Empire don't even know it's down, and it's Epicenter, it's not a Ravage or an RP. It's really not the end of the world, but pretty funny play from Fata there.
Well, I mean, Fata's made like 20 good plays.
He's earned that, right? He's earned the right to just airball an Epicenter.
Get out jail free card for
But let's be honest, he airballed that one. Pretty bad.
He's got 2,500 gold after Blink and Arcane up. He is absolutely filthy rich, despite having 3 deaths. So I wonder where he's going to go next.
Wouldn't mind seeing a pipe from him, honestly.
Sure.
There's a lot of AoE nuke damage in Empire.
I would have just straight up go BKB against this team. I mean, if you BKB Sand the hell are they going to do? Vacuum?
If they have to waste the grip on you,
yeah,
that
means fine.
They're not gripping Anti-Mage, and they're not gripping Nyx.
Yep.
And that's trouble.
Empire is going to back off here as Black doesn't care, just blink as ends 3 or 4. And Empire's got to be afraid of Dagon.
Oh, come on, Fata.
It is so good.
Salt in the wound.
It's not even a troll build because everybody's HP is so low on the enemy side, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
you're right. We were just talking about how the Visage and Bane are food for Nyx. Well, often Nyxes who are playing the farming role will get a Dagon. Speaking of which, Paz isn't going Blink Dagger. He's going Dagon as well, and he's almost got it.
Damn.
It's mass Dagons for Mousesports again.
All right, I take back what I said about not really a trolling build. It's a little bit trolling. It's a little bit, you know.
It's not a build they would go for if the game was very close, but when you're ahead like this, I think it's very legitimate.
Yeah, well, if you're ahead, you could get away with a lot more, I don't want to say quote-unquote bad items, but a lot more situational-based item. Scythe of Ice comes up as well. Korfa, you're doing it wrong. Where's your Dagon 2? Let's go for Dagon 3, I think.
Where's that Chen Dagon? Max Penitence, skip your
Test
of Faith entirely.
Look at Korfa. He's killing familiars like they're couriers.
Oh, by the way, he's got a Scythe of Ice.
Yeah,
and 300 gold and his Midas off cooldown.
That's why I said, where's your Dagon 3? That's going up for Dagon 3.
Yeah, I want to see the Chen Dagon, though. I want to see Max Penitence, skip Test of Faith, and just go laning, carry Chen. That's a very fun pub build.
I think we're going a little bit too deep now when we say laning.
I think we're trying to outthink Cinderin, which is certainly not going to happen here.
Yeah. Well, Cinderin also going to hit level 11 soon. That's going to be a big part. And looks like they might be making a gank attempt on Scando. And with a Scythe of Ice available...
Oh, he is so screwed.
He's going to get sprouted.
Remember, there is a Quelling Blade here for Scandal, but the Surge is about to run out. Now the Hex comes through. We just need a Nyx Impale, and Scandal is in a lot of trouble. He's got a Surge. Pos needs to hit this uphill. He won't. And Scandal's going to live. TP's out. No Ion Shell, so no Carapace. No Carapace stun possible.
Meanwhile, in the base, Fada's killing stuff. So FNG trying to dive. Burrow Strike's going to come back in 1 second. Calldown's going to get used, and I think he's going to Burrow Strike barely out of range. Nice vacuum back, and that's going to be the kill. So
let me tell you, if this was IXDL, I would be F9ing there so hard in the middle of that engagement. As soon as you realize that that kill fails, the pause comes out. Yeah, that was a bit of a greedy overextension there.
Dagon, not enough damage. Means time to upgrade.
The sad part for Empire wasn't a track kill, though. Light of Heaven wasn't there.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fine. Getting a kill still good. And Teammate also joining the fray there. But they really need to protect their tier 2 tower. Empire, I do believe, still have it in them to win some team fights. Once the pipe come out for the Darkseer, then the Sand King's going to be a lot less effective. And those Dagon's going to be a lot less effective as well. So I think Scandal should farm for that. And hopefully they could start a team fight without him getting hexed, because he is going to be the most important target.
Pipe will help, but Mousesports still also have a lot of physical damage. Black now, Battle Fury up, Manta style complete, 1,700 gold. You might have forgotten by this point, but they did begin this game, Team Empire did, by aggressive tri-laning
top
him.
Lane.
Koikva in trouble, tracked up, and it'll be a Fiend's Grip kill. Really buy back immediately, though. You know the Grip's on cooldown now. You do have Aegis. Looks like they'll just be content to farm.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very important pickup here as Light of Heaven buy himself a ton more time to farm. He's level 13 despite roaming and ganking all day long. Now has picked up a drums. I really think they need a BKB, and Light of Heaven need a Windwalk now. Nice Windwalk. You cannot hit him out like this, but they do have Sentry Ward. They will drop in now. All the Chainsaw in the world, and double Dagon to the face.
Forget Double Dragon. It ain't got nothing on Double Dagon. And also I want to point out, that was a blind Impale just down the ground. He didn't have vision of him. Sentry Ward gets dropped after the Impale from the Sand King, or the Burrow Strike, I should say. Fantastic play from Fata to set up that kill.
He may miss epicenters, but he don't miss blind bring.
Honestly, in most cases, I would say Impales are more important than epicenters.
Yes, I believe. If you land a 2-3-man Burrow Strike in a team fight, to me that's more important than landing a good epicenter.
Not as sexy, though.
Yeah, it's okay. There's a pipe being picked up, so Empire, if Scandal plays well enough, they could stretch this game out. You talked about the late game physical DPS. Let's not forget about Bane Elemental. Enfeeble is a decent way to slow down any physical DPS. I don't think that's a surefire way to win it, but, you know, it's not bad.
And they do have a Demon Edge on Blow Your Brain. A casual Rapier can always turn a game around. It's a tall order, though.
I've never seen player actually go casual Rapier. They're always afraid. They're always
this might be a game where
Why
you have
is Blow Your Brain running straight in?
Oh no, he's gotten sleeped. He's kept alive for now. Now he pops his BKB. He unloads the cooldown. There's your back. Maybe he knew what he's doing. He will drop first. Cinder in low. Not dead yet. Scandal giving chase. They want this kill. They'll get it. Now Pos on the run. The grip's there. Channeled onto Koikva. Cancel by an Impale from your Nyx Assassin. Koikva running north. Can't get out. He'll take a spill. They do get two. They get the fairly farm Nature's Prophet.
They see Pasa's wall up top here. He gets slept. There's no mana left on Bane. And in fact, Pasa turns around. He does have Dagon available. Mana burn Dagon. But bam, nice vacuum and another try kill for Team Empire.
Wow, FNG is playing so well this game.
For a Bane that has a gauntlet, boots, and a wand, he is playing sensationally well.
I honestly, maybe Empire needs to go full Vici Gaming and give him some resources. Put him in the carry role. Switch someone else to support, because he's doing so much with just Bane. Imagine if he had some items, some farm.
Well,
great
maybe that's why they give him the 5-row saying, hey, man, you don't need items. You're not good. So
you're imbo without them.
And Blow Your Brain, was that you, Volster? Because the entire Mousesports team was here, and then he's just like, oh, okay, let's go in.
I just saw this giant pink line drawn by FNG, and I was very confused. I was like, that's not where they were, Lumi, but you're right. They're all right here, and he just charged in. Maybe was about to pop the BKB and just the quick scythe reaction. I didn't actually see, was the Nature's Prophet Shadowbladed? Because he might have been there.
I'm not sure either.
In which case, maybe he didn't have vision, but that's where, well, forget whatever we were talking about, because we're seeing Dagon's getting upgraded now. Dagon level 2 now, picked up for Mousesports.
If you're Mousesports, are you somewhat concerned that you lost that team fight?
No. Black is farming. Black hasn't died. Black has a BKB, and you also have such a map control advantage as well, because you're constantly pushing the lanes. Even though Empire have a great 5-man, can they actually take a 5-man fight? Will they get one?
That was 3 track kills. I'm a little bit concerned for Mousesports. I mean, I still think they're very much an advantage.
Oh, this is going to help, though. They found Light of Heaven. They baited him out. They've set a little trap for him here.
Nightmare.
He's low. Once again, the defensive sleep. Now a grip on Koikfa. Maybe turn it around. Koikfa's going to fall. Epi's there from Fanta, not accomplishing much.
His blink got canceled by the flat cannon. Oh, that 1,000 range. And of course, again,
Prophet buyback. Back into the fray they go. Will they actually engage in this, or are they just trying to force everyone back? Black, meanwhile, breaking high ground. And it looks like Nyx is on the hunt. He's got a Dagon. He's got well, we'll see a blink away. So anti-mage. Thing is, even when they take a nice fight, they've got to kill quite a few heroes, else Mouse will just push them in anyway.
I mean, the thing is, that's another buyback that was, to me, not really necessary of a buyback. So a ton of pile of gold going down the drain. I'm a little bit worried for Mousesport here.
Yes, it does seem they're a little bit casual, a little bit relaxed in terms of the execution, but I imagine if we see Empire take another fight or two like that, Mouse are going to look to batten down the hatches. But Empire playing well. They have the pipe up now, so Mouse not nearly as strong in the team fights. Epicenter, Mass Dagon's mostly negated by this pipe and mech combo. And it puts more pressure on Black to be a huge impact in the fights.
Well, it also puts more pressure on Koifa. If you actually just Hex Scando, that's end of it, right? It doesn't matter if he has all those items. Although he is getting fairly tanked Blink Brush. Oh my goodness. He just wants to
really?
He gets vacuum backwards. The Nightmare to start it up, and
will there be the follow-up? Balls drop. Now Fata on the run. Soul Assumption coming through. Now Shuriken toss as well. Still Fata running. Burrow south. Can he get out? Oh, it's tough. They've surged forward one, but FNG getting body blocked a bit here. Now Paz says, I'll take the bullet. He's going to drop a gem as well. No, nothing for him to do with it. That's a gem and a track kill.
5-man track kill.
5. Was it actually worth saying? I'd rather lose the Sand Cane. He doesn't have a gem.
Black's going to get a tier 3 tower out of that. I mean, every engagement that Empire is winning, it is coming at a cost of Black.
Maybe you're prophetic this game, Lumi, because they're losing a few too many fights for my team.
I mean, if we look at the goal graph, it is still like 15,000 gold lead, despite all those track kills. And maybe not. It looks like Koifa, again, look at the line of Sentry Wards on the ground. They want to kill him, but FNG's also Invis. Oh, Invis looks up, and they just go on straight up on Koifa. Blink Burrow Strike with the Epicenter straight up. BKB gets popped on Light. I don't think he will make that kill. Oh, he's really going for it.
Koikfa's low. Can Light of Heaven bring him down? He's got another Shuriken toss. He'll get the kill. Fata goes Invis. The gem is now on the Visage. Visage and Darkseer, both each with toting a gem, and Fata could be in trouble as a result. Scandal will actually surge away. He's worried about, I guess, other heroes showing up. Truth be told, they could be fighting Fata right now. Prophet just uses buyback, but they want to play it safe, and they do have to defend these lanes. And that is the one lingering concern for Empire, is now Black's up to 4.7k. He's been playing AFK, PvE, pushing in the bottom lane, and I still don't really know how Empire deal with split push. Their lineup isn't that mobile. They don't have anyone who can 1v1 the anti-mage. Sure, they've got this great 5-man. They can find some track kills, but their gyrocopter continues to die. And as long as Mouse don't feed Black too, I think eventually they can win this by split push.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, anti-mage is still a huge concern. Let's check out on Bane Gold. He does not have that BKB even worked on. So, yeah, I just don't know what their late game is. Maybe if it goes ultra late, when your supports even pick up Hex, but I just don't see that happening.
Roshan number 2 is coming soon. In fact, it has just respawned. You'll see a double damage rune bottled up by Feta, and now up to a level 3 Dagon. We'll see Empire group up towards the Roshan pit. This is to me, this is probably Mousesports' Roche for the taking, simply because Black is a BKB. He's up to 5.5k gold. Once he buys that next item, he can solo it, and he is a BKB, so they can't really jump him too easily. Mouse can sit outside of the pit, and they can also split push. But if they group up near the Roshan pit, if they get caught by the call-down vacuum...
That's what I thought last time, when they just, like, went in there.
If Empire find that magical fight, they can probably take it. But I think if you're Mouse, you should never have to fight 5v5 at the pit.
Exactly. You just push with anti-mage on the bot lane, you split 4 and hang around the Roshan pit. In fact, Mouse Black says, we could just go in straight into the base, which a little bit dangerous. Going up a high ground against a Darkseer that's disstacked.
He's got his butterfly now as well. So easily can solo Roshan. The rest of Mousesports, I imagine we'll see them sit outside of the pit.
Yeah.
And, well, they've gone for a few Dagons here, but they've still got the big items that matter. Black, big farm, BKB up, virtually immune to anything Empire can throw his way. And the lanes are still being pushed. Fata pushing in the mid lane. He doesn't even care that he's been tracked, just wants to get some momentum. And Roshan's melting. There just doesn't seem to be a way for Mouse to stop it. They'll try and contest, though. In come your familiars. Double familiar stun on Black. Is it enough? Now the grip's there as well. Hasn't gotten off his BKB. Aegis not stolen. Looks like the grip did get canceled. Now a Vax there. Called out as well, but Black's in fighting shape. He hasn't popped his BKB. He's still got the Aegis if he needs it. Epi comes through on the backside. It's an absolute massacre. Monovoid's there as well. Black is cleaning up 23 and 15 the score, and it'll be 24 and 15. They found 5. They find another Dagon kill, and Empire just absolutely brutalized. And on that brutal note, they will GG out.
Good try here by Team Empire. I thought the team fight looked pretty good, especially with Anti-Mage getting somewhat focused, and Scando doing a very good job tracking up Chen, making sure that nobody was coming in, but the person that he had to make sure wouldn't blinking was Sanking, and he got his blink off, so yep.
I think that's where they really needed to steal the Aegis. If they steal the Aegis there, maybe that fight goes a little bit differently. Hard to say, but ultimately, I don't think this game was lost during that Roshan fight.
No.
It was lost during the laning stage. Empire giving up first bloods in an aggressive trying against an anti-mage, running a safe lane bounty, a solo mid Darkseer. They didn't convincingly win their 2 solo lanes, and they lost the tri lane, and they had the worst lineup for the mid game to be behind with.
Yeah. Also, well, track goals supposedly will get you back, but they never found those track kills. To me, Fata is the reason they won this game with the multiple rotations, helping out allies on the bot, setting up quite a kills on top, and then blinking back to mid towers to defend towers and then to defend allies. He played fantastically, even with the level 3 Dagon to show at the end game score. You know,
that's just for swag points, basically.
Yeah.
But fantastic movement from him, and great warding as well from Cinderin and Potts, because nearly every bounty hunter gank was spotted out, even the one that worked in the Radiant jungle.
Well, that's just light running past river.
Yeah,
and they're missing right there.
Yeah, maybe they're standard wards, but hey, they did spot every Light of Heaven gank end of the day. So you got to give them at least a little bit of credit for that, Lumi. But game 1 now in the books. Mousesports are leading your best of 3, 1-0. It's the Corsair Summer Tour 2013. Head over to gc.corsair.com and enter for your chance to win a fully loaded gaming PC as well as some Dota TV tickets. gc.corsair.com. On that note, guys, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be live with game 2 of this best of 3. Stay tuned.